Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Taurus. So the Earth has moved, and we see now behind the Sun the constellation Leo, which is ruled by the Sun, and the Moon has moved as well. And today the Moon is in your sign, or when we look at the Moon, we see the constellation Taurus behind it. And looking at these cards, right, the Good Tarot and of course Rider-Waite, I have for each zodiac sign its own deck, and you landed on the Rider-Waite and Leo landed on the Good Tarot. And so the Lion of Leo, this brave energy, and today the Lion's Gate, the 8-8 portal, connected with Sirius, the star, and bringing us the empowerment to really truly be strong. And here it is the number 8 that is calling you to be strong in the way you want to see yourself, first from deep within, because it's the Moon's position, so we look into the subconscious. And the Sun is that outside energy, that how I am looking at myself through the light, here how I look at myself through the dark. And so you are able to look at your subconscious through Leo, at what it is that you need to look at a little deeper. Ruled by Venus, which is in retrograde right now, and you're the second house of worth, and Leo is, like I said, ruled by the Sun and is the 5th house of joy. So enjoy this moment when Leo is calling, or rather the wild side of Leo is calling you through the Lion's Gate, through this very auspicious day today. Some call it the astrological holiday or celebrational day, because I mean it is important to understand that Sirius is in alignment with our Earth, and so we can manifest, we can really look deeper within what it is that we want from our life. I gave Leo the Simhasana position, of course, with the breath, the lion's breath, the sticking the tongue out. And so here you are able to roar through the power of Leo and become heard, right? Then for you, I gave you a movement, not anymore sitting here, but this like inhale, I go up, exhale, I'm bending down, and I'm really forward bending, because you have 3 stages here in your crown, right? And the arrow that's pointing up and the arrow that's pointing down. So here you are creating a movement yourself, and you're not just sitting here anymore and you are like waiting for the information to come. You're actually using the information to create then here a new movement. So that just alone, Sun and Moon up in the sky, giving us this powerful message. Your court card is the King of Pentacles. As you can see, he's sitting here in his throne and is really taken by his coin. If your birthday is between April 10th and May 9th, then he is your court card. If not, you can look in the description. I have listed all the dates of the court cards. Back to the last reading, since everything is cyclical. Cancer Sun highlighting Taurus Moon. The message was, when you give, you'll always get more. So please trust that. You had the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles. All together, that's a 14. And again, the 1 and the 4 is the Magician, and the 4 is the Emperor, or is your heart that knows what to do with the magic, and particularly in the 4 elements to make the money. And calculated together, the 14 is, of course, a 5. Then again, leading back to the Hierophant. And 5 is always the 5 senses, is that difficulty, is that moment where we recognize, okay, you know, the 5 senses aren't that easy. They are pushing us and they are testing us. And yeah, 14 is also the Sagittarius energy, right? The temperance. So you're invited to recognize, particularly the 5 and the 6 creates an 11, a portal, and then you get another 3, which then creates the 14, right? So in that portal, find your centeredness, and then you can really understand the 14, and then out of that the spiritual messages that are keep coming down to you. And here also is a portal with the 2 pillars, with the 2 students, right, that are working with you. So I'm gonna pick one more overall card, which usually in the big reading is on the position of the last judgment, the number 20. It's the Livruma Healing Oracle. I like it because it's my newest deck right now, and I like it because it's connected with the rune alphabet. And here comes Fö, the number 1. You can stop the video and read it yourself and really dive deep into the meaning of this card. Here is the symbol of the Fö alphabet, the 1, the wealth and the livestock. Captured from festers, held static, possessed, hemmed in, penned in, rammed and wrecked. Atom, wrestle, molecules, jostle, whims of wealth, wilt and melt and die back. This cluster clings, that cluster crawls, and another claims greater importance than all. What does wealth conquer? So wealth is something that you have. In general, you're the King of Pentacles. You really love money. And of course, with you, all the banks and the institutions are connected. So here's the lively stock, right? It's the livestock is that which we have in the animals that we can sell. And the wealth in the livestock here is giving you a deeper understanding of what is it truly right now that you want today, in this very auspicious day, right? The 8-8 portal of the Lion's Gate. So we're gonna look into that and see what this reading today is wanting to tell you. On the position of the Fool, we have the Knight of Swords. That's Gemini. And Gemini is after you. And so it almost seems like he's riding into the left spinning path. Left is the soul, right is the human. And so when a person is facing left, I always say he is focused on a spiritual energy, on a soul energy. If he's facing right, he's focused on a human energy, on a human exploration energy. And the left is connected with the wobble that the earth does, right? In 25,800 years. It's a very long wobble, and we divide it through the 12 zodiac signs and we get an age. So here you see Gemini looking like the Fool into the soul. So you getting in this state of consciousness the idea to search for meaning, for something deep within you that is needed, that is satisfying you. Now you could also be a Knight of Swords depending on your birth, right? Have a look in the description. I have listed them all because the Knight of Swords comes after May 9th, and the Major Arcana goes until the 20th of May, so there's an overlapping, right? So maybe you have here the Knight of Swords as a court card, but nevertheless you are connected with the Major Arcana as the Hierophant. I have the same thing, right? I'm a Virgo as a Major Arcana, but in the court card I am the Queen of Swords because I'm all the way at the end of Virgo, and so I have a different energy in my court card than in my Major Arcana. And that means sometimes there's a split happening deep within us, and so you feel this energy right now very strongly today because Leo is calling you. Or if I put Leo here, it's almost like you following Leo and you want to understand what this call here is all about. What is Leo wanting to tell you? And so you take that step, right? You take that gentle step forward into the soul, and you are wanting to understand what all of this is about. Then comes on the position of the Magician, the Sorcerer. Look at that. So he's the number 48, and this is the third zodiac sign. So there is the number 3 as a number, and 3 is always that triangle that's pointing up or pointing down. Here with the air, it's pointing up because it's masculine. So the Sorcerer is behind the Gemini energy. The 4 and the 8, again, we get the 4 elements that are lying on the table of the Magician, and the Magician is a Sorcerer as well. So with the 1 added, we get a 49. And a 49 creates then a 13, and the 13 is the big shift. The big shift that is saying, well, you gotta let go of your body, of your conditionings, because 13 Scorpio is opposite of you. That's where you going. That's where you humanly going, to the opposite sign, so that you can understand in this dimension here, in this physical world, what it means to accept the complete opposite of you. And so you are watching how the Knight of Swords is going, and it's very interesting because the Sorcerer usually has this dark kind of energy, but there is this rainbow that is actually being sent into the soul path and helping the Knight of Swords to take that path into the soul, right? And left, when they left, it's for me, they go to the new moon, they go deep down, and when it's to the right, we go to the full moon. So both of them facing left, and we going currently from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius is an air sign, and so as a Gemini, as a Knight of Swords, right, kind of energy, you understand the shift right now, you understand the change. If you're a King of Pentacles, you may not feel it because you're very earth-bound. Here you very air-bound. There's a difference. On the position of the High Priestess comes the 8 of Swords. Now that is very much connected with the Gemini. That's Jupiter in Gemini. So behind the Sorcerer, there is something that's binding you. It's almost like there is a spell, and you in that spell see that you're trapped and that you are the Lord of Shortened Forces, is dealing with something. The 8, the infinite symbol, again with the 8 of here, Leo. So Leo is calling out on you and is letting you know, hey, watch out. Right? It's almost like it's calling you, hey, watch out, hey, watch out, hey, watch out. There is something that is trapping you. There is something that you need to look at, because the intuition of the High Priestess plus the 8 is a 10. It's a new cycle that can begin, and everything is pointing here at this moment, because Jupiter in Gemini is usually an expansion, but for some reason it's actually a contraction. It's actually pointing at your core, at your center. Deep within, are you here connected with the sorcerer? Because there's an 8 and there's an 8 here as well. And if I calculate just this together, it's the 12. And the 12 then becomes a 3. With then, of course, the magician is the 4 elements, right? But here it's the Empress, and then so it would be a 3-3 portal right here, right? The 3rd zodiac sign and the 3 here. And then the 10. The 1 and the 0, again, you have realized something, you have understood something. And with the 8 of Swords, it's like trying too many things, you thinking too much, you are almost putting yourself in a situation where it's like, why are you thinking so much? What is it that you thinking about, right? What is it? So we're going to continue to see what's happening then on the position of the Empress, which is also a state of consciousness that is bringing now the devil, le diable, the number 15 to you. And so the 15 becomes a 6, right? The 1, the magician, and the 5, which is the Hierophant, right? So you have here on the position of the magician, you have the sorcerer. So in a way, the devil is a little bit of a sorcerer as well. And you see that you bound somehow in the social status because you like worth, you like good things, you like Venus energy, because Venus is connected with the Empress as well, and so you like yourself to have certain things, a social status, you like to climb, and the only energy that can save you is the 3rd eye. So the 15 and the 3 makes an 18, which is the moon, right? It's the 1 and the 8 again, the magician that is handling the 8, the infinity here with the strength card. And of course, then calculated together the 9, that's then Virgo, the hermit, which comes then in the next month. So here you are recognizing that you may be awakening to a realization deep within you, because these are all state of consciousness, right? This is your intuition. And of course, here on the sorcerer, the magician, that's the inspiration that you get from the fool that says, well, let me take that step now into deep within myself. I want to know what's deep within myself. And we're going to see on the world, on the position of the world, what he is walking into. So here comes then the 15, which is the 6th chakra, and there's the 3rd eye. You are working on yourself and bring a new state of consciousness if you go into the 3rd eye through the Empress, which is the number 3. Then on the position of the Hierophant comes the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles is connected with the King of Pentacles, right? But the Queen of Pentacles is actually Capricorn. And so here's Capricorn Major Arcana, and here is the court card of Capricorn. So there is a Capricorn energy in your life that is occupying you. And you are connected with money, because I can see now that you yourself as the king of Pentacles is looking at the money if you are the King of Pentacles. But if you are actually more the Knight of Swords, then it's actually good that this is coming up, because she's really more loving and caring about the money than the King of Pentacles, right? And she's like saying, okay, your worth is by respecting the money, by holding the money, by giving birth to the money, and knowing what you're spending on. Important, right? Because this is the 5 and she is the 10 zodiac sign. It creates a 15, so we have a 15-15 portal here. And so allow you to become more caring, more feminine about your finances, right? Because the masculine part, we know what that can do, and now the feminine part is coming through Capricorn, right? So Capricorn is somehow talking to you. Then on the position of the King of Pentacles, which is in the center of the reading, right? So this is the court card that is now feeling the Lovers. And interesting enough, the Lovers, right, is Gemini. And so there is a deep self-love that is affecting you on the position of the King of Pentacles, knowing that you are learning to love yourself, because this is the card number 6. And Capricorn is also a 6, but created through the 1 and the 5. So the Magician, where we have the Sorcerer, is coming to you, and the 5, the Hierophant, is coming to you through Capricorn, and now you get a clear 6, which is saying, rather go into this kind of energy, right? Become clear with the way you want to see this world, with you want to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, and love what you're doing, and see here that the Lovers, the Gemini, which also through the 8 of Swords, right? Even though that's Jupiter in Gemini, but Gemini is speaking to you in a profound way, right? So maybe you are a Gemini through the Knight of Swords, right? But the Gemini is searching for answers, and the answer is love. Either in a relationship that is blessed here, also through a triangle, or a relationship deep within yourself, in loving yourself and arriving at yourself. And so the 6 and the second zodiac sign is an 8. So you have an 8 coming up. And so the 8 of Leo is calling you and saying, yes, enter the infinite state of consciousness. Now, if I put him here, he's slightly looking down at them, and he's like, yes, that's what I want. And you see her here in her position. She's looking into the left, and he's looking into the right, right? So if I put him above, you can see that she's not even noticing them. Important that you see also that she's left soul, and she will take care of the money on a soul level. Meanwhile, here he's focused on the money on a human level. And so understand that you gotta love yourself to attract more money if that's what you want. Then comes on the position of Leo, and this is really fascinating. Comes the temptation, comes the 15 again, comes the devil again, and the devil speaks here twice to you. The attachment of the social status, the attachment of me wanting certain things, wanting to be influential in this life, can also attach us at the same time. And the only freedom and liberation here is self-love, is through that one clear thought, through that one sword, through Gemini, right? So it's almost like your way out. And maybe that's why the Sorcerer is right behind you. It's almost like you're walking away from something, but he's sending his rainbow thoughts after you. And it's like there is someone in your life that is like, you know, there either in a positive or in a negative way, right? And you have the devil twice, 15, right? And so recognize what's happening here. Recognize that you need to look at this in a very clear way, because you had also here the 15, right? Remember? The Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant together creates a 15. So it's like a 6, a 6, and a 6, and a 6 with the other. So 4 times 6, that's very powerful, right? The 6 is usually, they say, or 3 times a 6, it's the sign of the beast. It's not. It's actually the sign of the hexagram. And so, nevertheless, see where she has fallen asleep onto. It's on the apple that she ate. Too much love. Now, notice that the lovers are here in the center of your reading, and that she is turning her back on them. Because somehow she knows that maybe this illusionary world that we think is all we're looking for, but it's like also giving us this kind of energy, right? The attachment. And of course here we can see the attachment of the devil, right, to the 5 senses. And so to come out of that, it's like you really need to be strong, and you really need to recognize that you are needing to awaken, that you are needing to recognize you don't want to get attached. And so the 6 of the lovers is coming and literally saying, love yourself, then you don't even fall into this trap. Then on the position of the moon, that's the dream oracle. And the moon is bringing you the dreams at night. And here comes the number 56, the wall and the obstacles. So the 5, again, the Hierophant, and the 6, the lovers. So here is, right, the lovers and the Hierophant. So maybe you are split between those two. Maybe you have, right, the Knight of Swords as a court card, but you are a Hierophant. Recognize that this wall is speaking to you in sense of now you got to find the portal by calculating them together. And then you get an 11, and the 11 is inside of your card with the 2 pillars. And the 11 is also here as the 2, as the movement that is facing each other. And so the liberation is right in the center, is in the bowing down, is in the head coming together and recognizing I can liberate myself, because there is a wall, there is an obstacle, there is something that is letting you know still the third eye. That's what always the solution to Capricorn is the third eye, is that inner eye, is that heart that he has eaten into the apple, or she. And now you will see that the only liberation for you to get out is to form the third eye, and to recognize that in the third eye you can liberate yourself, and you will see that in your dream. And interesting enough, right, we have the 15 4 times. Actually, we have the 15 3 times and a 6. So there's 3 times the 1, and the 1 here, the fur, the lively stock. It's very interesting, right? We also attach the animals to a leash. We also want to keep them bound, right? And maybe that's the wall that you need to break through and liberate yourself here through the third eye. Now this is the 11, and here this is the 18, and the 18 here becomes a 9, right? The 1 and the 8 again, the magician with the strength card. That's why Leo has called you, right? That's why Leo has given you this shout. And then you get a 9 and an 11 left, right? And so there is something, right? There is something talking to you in your dreams, because this is the state the dream state of I want to evolve, I want to grow, I want to understand why I am here. Then on the position of the sun, which is in Leo, we have the 22, we have the air and the motion. Then, only then, you are able to move into the human path. Everything else has given, she's asleep, she is already facing the human path, but she's sleeping. And I hope in her sleep she will see the third eye. I hope she will recognize here the liberation through the third eye in her sleep. And here then the movement is out of this dream, out of this wall, out of these obstacles, through motion forward. Where are you moving into? Is into then the world that is giving you the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups are the three graces, which is then Mercury in Cancer, right? And so from this dream state, you're gonna move forward and you're gonna emerge out of the water into the Three of Cups, because the Three of Cups is, like I said, the three graces: love, hope, and belief. Love, hope, and belief. If you have love, if you have hope, and if you have belief, then you can do whatever you want to do. And then you see where he is walking into the third zodiac sign walks into the Three of Cups, Cancer, right? Mercury in Cancer. The information comes to him that love is the answer. Only love will make us move forward. Only will bring us there, right? And so the cycle is closed to the Three of Cups, right? These horses are going to the Three of Cups, and he's going to the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups, love, belief, and hope are the three things that we need, that we want to live after, and that can save you out of the Capricorn situation, right? That attachment that you think that you need, but you detach yourself because that's just the physical body. And so the sun, right, the number 1 and 9, which is then the 1, the magician, and the 9, the hermit, creates then a 10 and a 22. I don't calculate that together. So the sun in Leo is literally saying, well, then you're gonna move, then you're gonna get the movement forward, because he called you, right? Always. I mean, wherever I put him, he called you, because he's here and you are here. He called you. So whenever I put him, it's like, yes, he's calling you to see the three graces. He's calling you to move all your knowledge into the human path, right? Because he is going to the soul, and in the soul he's recognizing the three is soul energy, right? And you are recognizing that the world is bringing you the solution, because the world is also a 3, the 21. So you have a 3-3 portal, you have a 2-2 portal going into a 3-3 portal, and then also he is the number 3. So there's a 3-3-3 portal here. And that's what you're looking for, right? 3 times 3, overcoming the 4 times 6, right? So you know what all of this means, right? I'm just going to explain you the cards, what mysteries are in there, but your story is unfolding in your head. And I leave that like that, right? I don't want to go into specifics, but it's about love. And it's about bringing that into the world, and it's like knowing that and understanding that and taking action about that. Even though you have behind you the sorcerer, right? The sorcerer can be stopped by love, right? Because when you look at them, you can see the moon phases in there, and you can see that this is the portal of the Lion's Gate, right? This is the message. The message is, through that portal of today's Lion's Gate comes love. And then you can stop whatever is pushing you to go into the soul path, right? Maybe you are a little bit of a sorcerer, right? Maybe you have that power behind you, right? Maybe you are wanting to liberate yourself out of a life that maybe wasn't so great, because then also we have him here, right? The attachment from previous lives. And you have also her, right? She's the Queen of Pentacles. She's the Capricorn energy. And then, though, comes real love, right? The love of Gemini. The Gemini energy that's saying, well, really, truly love yourself, because then you can liberate yourself out of any attachment, right, that you thought was happening. And also then, of course, here the wall that happened, but the third eye is here. Remember that, right? And the 11 is here. And so you taking that step, and so here we are in this position, right? And you see the circle is closing here, and you can see like, oh, okay, there we go. Love stops either the left or the right spinning path, right? There's no such thing like, okay, you gotta be infinitely always trapped in a difficult situation. No, love conquers all. Love is the answer. I think that's the title of your reading today. And of course, then this ties in with the 11 portal, seeing in your third eye the one, the livestock, the fur, the wealth, the question, what does wealth conquer truly? So when you are faced through the moon, right, which brought you her, the Queen of Pentacles, the feminine part, to the King of Pentacles, then you question, maybe women are a little more conscious about how we work things out, and in the third eye we must unite the masculine and the feminine, and in a way that's what's happening here. Right? If I put them like this, they look at each other. If I put them like this, they look away from each other. So he comes first and then she came. So in a way they're looking at each other, and that's what creates here the 1-1 portal, the 5 and the 6, and the third eye opens, right? And you have the 6 here, and you have the 5 here together. It's the 11, 1, 1, 1, and you understand that the 1 is the magician, and so somehow the sorcerer is in all of that. And so now the question is, are you the sorcerer, or someone else in your life is creating the sorcerer magic, and are you able to conquer that, and particularly answer the questions, what does wealth conquer? So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the earth turns in such a way that we see the constellation Virgo behind the sun. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.